Hey guys, Adam here and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well on this Monday. I think I'm going to do something a little different today, something fun, and take a departure from my training and try someone else's training system.
I'm going to show you the only 3 leg exercises you need to build muscle.
On my last video, I mentioned a few pages that sort of cater to the over 40, over 50 person, and one of those was Live Anabolic. And it is owned and operated by Gary Walker. And he developed what he calls the Tricon system. And basically what that is a system of triple contraction. So you have a set, and I'm still not sure how many sets he does, probably 3, with a total of 9 reps. So your first 3 reps he calls explosive reps. Then the second 3 are an isometric mid-range hold, which is just a fancy way to describe a pause squat. And then the last 3 reps are full range, slow reps, which again are basically just tempo. So 4 seconds down, 4 seconds up.
9 total reps. That's how all of my Tricon exercises are. First 3 are explosive. Okay, control the lowering phase, the eccentric phase, and explode the weight up. You do that for 3 reps. Next 3 reps have 10-second isometric holds right at the mid-range. I'll show you what that looks like when I demonstrate this actual exercise. The last 3 of the 9 total reps are going to be full range of motion, slow reps. 4 seconds to lower the weight, 4 seconds to raise the weight, full range of motion.
And I'm going to try that today with dumbbells because on his page and his website, they do not push barbell free weights. They push dumbbells, body weights and bands and that kind of stuff. Because let's face it, some people in their 50s and in their 40s, they just cannot do barbell back squats because for a lot of reasons, and probably one of those big reasons is because they just fucked themselves up over the years with crappy form. And now their back and their spine can't handle the weight and compression. So dumbbells are a decent alternative. Can they replace barbell free weights? I don't think so personally. But if you're a beginner, they're a great way to start out. But do I think his Tricon system will hold up? We'll see. And the exercises that he chooses, are they great for beginners? Again, we'll see. I will give my honest opinion after I'm done and my suggestions on any changes that I think would be better and safer. So with that, let's get this workout started. A couple of things that I noticed with these channels that cater to the 40 and 50-year-olds is the lack of leg training. I had to go back 6 months into Live Anabolic's catalog to find a leg training video, and especially calves. So I added this one calf exercise, and don't be afraid to hold on to something for balance. Okay, so this is the first exercise of only 3 that you will need according to Live Anabolic.
Tricon dumbbell goblet squat. Explode the weight up. Explode up. 3 of these. Explode up again.
I love goblet squats with dumbbells or kettlebells. They're a great accessory for barbell front squats. They hit the same position, they hit the quads well, but I question them for a beginner, and I'll tell you why.
And right here at the mid-range, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1006, 1007, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, if you notice the position of the dumbbell, if you're someone who's never worked out before in your life, you may lack the upper body strength to hold that position, the core strength, the upper back strength, and the arm strength to hold that dumbbell. And you'll see me, I have my chin resting on top. So I consider a goblet squat to be an intermediate exercise rather than beginner because of the position of the dumbbell and the risk of injury from holding it in that position.
And then the full range of motion, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1001, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so on to reps 7 through 9, and I didn't get much out of the isometric holds at that mid-range position. It was slightly above parallel, so I found it bothered my knees more than hit my quads and my hams and glutes. So after I finished those 3 sets, I used a 40-pound dumbbell. I picked up a 50-pound dumbbell and repeated the Tricon set of 9. But this time, for the second set of reps, I did a full ass to grass pause squat. And I felt that this hit the quads much more. It put no pressure on my knees, but my legs were definitely shaking because my quads were burning. I found it to be much better. So if you're doing this Tricon set, you might want to consider doing the ass to grass pause instead of the mid-range pause, which I found bothered my knees. And to get the most out of this exercise, I had to go to a 50-pound dumbbell. So for me, I would have to go even heavier, maybe a 60 or a 70-pound dumbbell, which would be tough. I mean, it'd be hard on the elbows, hard to hold that position with that kind of weight for all of those slow reps, holds, etc. Okay, so now I have a suggestion and a possible change to the goblet squat. It allows you to use a heavier dumbbell, but without holding it in that position. It's a dumbbell sumo squat. You can see here that my arms are perfectly straight. You can widen the stance to get to parallel. It still hits the quads, the glutes, the hammies, without having to rely on that upper back and core strength, that bicep tendon strength to hold that dumbbell. And if you got into trouble, then you could just drop it. And here I'm doing the isometric holds at parallel. Just don't touch the dumbbell to the floor. It's a great burn. My legs were burning. And if you're an intermediate or advanced, you could always stand on a couple of 25-pound plates to get that dumbbell even deeper. But I found the dumbbell sumo squats much better than the dumbbell goblet squats. Okay, exercise 2.
The second exercise I'm going to show you is the RDL I told you about. Romanian Deadlift, using dumbbells, great for your hamstrings.
I like what he's done here with the dumbbell RDL. I love doing Romanian deadlifts. They are a king exercise, and he's right, they hit the hamstrings really well. I do them with barbells most of the time, but dumbbells are a great accessory to the barbell RDL. Keep the dumbbells close to your body and simply hinge at the hips, okay? This is led by the glutes, not the upper body.
Hip hinge, you'll notice here, getting my booty back as far as possible while allowing my arms to be straight with the weights. That's as far down as I can go using my hamstrings. Anything beyond this movement is lower back. For instance, for me to go lower, I round my lower back. That's not what you want to do.
When I do RDLs, I go lower than what Gary is suggesting because I want to lengthen the muscle. So here is an alternative that I think you might enjoy. This is a stiff-legged dumbbell deadlift. And I don't agree with what Gary said about the rounding of the back. And I lift my toes, you just saw there. So for me, rounding my upper back just slightly allows me to get the longest possible stretch in the hamstrings because you do not want things to get short and tight. Okay, on to the third and final exercise.
These are dumbbell, heels elevated dumbbell squats. So basically what I like to do, get down here in a comfortable position, rotate my toes out slightly, make sure your knees track in the same direction that your toes are pointed.
Okay, I liked his use of the plates under the heels because you see that I wear weightlifting shoes, which is an elevated heel. It allows me, not that I have ankle mobility issues, but it will help people that do, which is what the plates are also used for. I also love what he said about pushing your knees out in the direction of your toes. That's excellent. The only thing that I didn't like was the choice of this exercise because of the start position. For a beginner, starting that low to the floor will surely turn into a deadlift. Your hips are going to come up first, your butt will come up first, and that's going to be hard on your back. So I suggest starting from the stand position if you do this exercise. Simply have the dumbbells on a chair or your bed or a bench or whatever to start from the stand position. Okay, well, that was a good little workout. So what is my honest opinion of Gary Walker's Tricon training system? It's good. Is it perfect? No, it's far from perfect. And I think depending on, what you got out of it would depend on your level of proficiency. Like if you're a beginner, who has no experience training, or someone that took a long period of time off, it would be a good start for you. If you're an intermediate or an advanced lifter like myself, you would have to, do a lot heavier weight than what he recommends. I mean, his channel recommends light weights for the best results. For me, I would have to go very heavy, right? And if you're a beginner, that's where I would see the problems of safety coming in with goblet squats and RDLs and the dumbbell squats. But yeah, it's a good training system. I mean, for me, I think it would be good to do on my recovery days, or right. And I mean, I did get a good pump in my legs, but whenever I start doing any kind of volume rep work, my legs pump up like crazy anyway. That's just from 30 plus years of muscle building. They just pump up very fast. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm still unclear of to how many sets he recommends. I mean, I did 3 sets, and I followed his program to the best that I thought. No dissing Gary Walker. It's a good system, but I would say that if you wanted to get the most out of it, you might want to make a few changes, tweak the system based on your abilities. So I'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope Gary doesn't think that I was crapping on his training system, because I wasn't. I just wanted to see, as a 50-year-old weightlifter, what is out there for the beginner to get started. So with that, I hope you will subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for episode 79 of The Ways.